The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. Now it's Adam Humphries on the return. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. They'll be led out by their 6'4" quarterback, the former #1 overall pick in 2015, Jameis Winston.
He threw for nearly 350 yards. His team won, and one word just kept coming to mind as I watched him during the game: surgical. Absolutely surgical. That's why he won NFC Offensive Player of the Week.
Yeah, very precise. The throws maybe as accurate as he's been in some time.
Yeah, I think he feels pretty locked in here, and I think he feels like he can get it done again in this one too.
Now a carry here for Orleans, Darkwa. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 21 carries, 89 yards.
And we all know he had a big workload last week, so I'm eager to see if they decide to back him off a little bit. Personally, I hand it to him 20-plus times again. When a running back's locked in like he is, I want him to keep touching the football.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. They'll run the dark line. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards. And it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. And we get a glance now at the Buccaneer offense.
And Deshaun Jackson is the guy that your eyes naturally gravitate towards because he's a big play waiting to happen. In his career, usually averages about 20 yards a catch. Last season in 2017, closer to 13 yards per catch. Look for him to be recommitted to getting back downfield and catching the long ball.
An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2.
Let's convert.
Now they'll run it on the toss. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. Strong start by this defense. 3rd and short. They go with a run. Stonewalled for no gain.
I played for a guy who always talked about setting tones and meeting force with force. That felt like it on that play, didn't it? And they met it in a big way and won. What a great job by the defense.
On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. They'll be led out by Dak Prescott, the 135th pick of the draft back in 2016 from Mississippi State.
And his stat line last week, that's not going to get him to the Pro Bowl. All right, no touchdowns, no interceptions, but they won. And so the bottom line for him is team won, managed the game effectively, led him to victory. He's doing all the right things.
The numbers for him from a week ago: 9 catches, 80 yards.
This defense is ranked near the bottom of the league against the pass. You get the sense that he feels like if he gets covered on any call, he's going to be upset. He thinks he should be open on every snap in this game.
Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves to James. Well, no slow start here. A couple nice chunk plays back-to-back.
I love the momentum that they're showing here early because they did it both ways, right? Threw the ball on 1st down for a nice chunk of yardage. Came right back and ran the ball. Looks like they got the defense set back on their heels. Let's see if they can keep this moving.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. They keep on the ground with Elliott. And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 14. And a great return as he's up close to the 40-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. That's his longest run of the first quarter. And, Charles, we talked before the game about them needing to establish the run game. They'll be looking for more of that.
And they got to the perimeter. So that tells me that that's part of the game plan of what they want to get done today. So they'll have some complimentary runs where he'll run it to the...
And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. David Irving breaking through to get him for a loss of 7.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle. And frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play-action fake.
Jameis to throw it. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. And a look at the defense for the Cowboys.
Coming off a career-high 14.5 sacks in 2017, which tied for second in the NFL's DeMarcus Lawrence. How did he get to be so good in 2017? Consistency. Finally able to play pretty much a full season.
And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. 3rd and long, defense with no fear. They brought the pressure.
Zero fear at all. That means they feel really good about the guys who are going to cover. But the biggest one is they think their pressure will get there before he has a chance to find an open receiver.
So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over as the season winds down and you look at them in totality. You know, the offense has struggled. The defense has been pretty good, so I would imagine the changes this offseason may be more on the offensive side of the ball.
And this is where we always hear the term complementary football because, as you noted, the defense has played well enough for them to win games, and the offense has held them back. So they've got to reward that defense by improving on offense. I don't know if you make a change at quarterback, running back, tight end. It doesn't matter. Get better players, better system, so they can play to the standards of the defense, and the win column will result.
And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number 1. Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. Prescott from the gun. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now.
Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
They were looking for a little spark and some breathing room. They got it right there, a gain of 14 and a first down. So the previous play, a big help, as now they'll have it 1st and 10 up at the 20. First down, Winston. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run, because we envision them in offenses catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup.
On the run, Darkwa. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Now Darkwa. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down now.
I say the staff that's up in the booth watching the game, they may want to file that one away. See how fast the free safety closed to make that play? Might want to check into a throw the next time.
3rd and long for Winston. Keeps himself upright, but now he's swallowed up and taken down.
Like the footwork back there, I thought he did a pretty good job of evading that first wave of players. Tried to buy a little extra time out of the pocket, but in the end, oh, that was a tough one.
Yeah, winds up getting buried for the loss.
Kick catch interference. Kicking team.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Automatic first down.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Everyone, count. Go, get out there. 26.
A 1st down carry by Elliott. And down to the 36-yard line here. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Now it's a bootleg with Prescott. They'll roll him out right. Looking deep in the direct. And this is caught inside the 5. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. A gain of 32 that time. 2 minutes remain in a scoreless first half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
Chill. There you go.
Now Elliott. And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Ezekiel Elliott with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Cowboys are in for 6. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field.
The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. A 2nd down throw for Winston. There's the Penn State man. It's Chris Godwin. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. On 3rd and 1, here's Winston. And this is caught by Jackson. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
Well, they've already allowed 3 sacks in this first half. Now a holding penalty.
So I think drastic measures had to be taken, right? The regular way was not working. He was getting hit almost every snap, it felt like. They had to try and keep him upright.
Here's Darkwan. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Dallas. And a fair catch is taken here, a step or 2 inside the 45-yard line. That'll go down as just a 20-yard punt. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Here we go, 46, 46. 26.
A 1st down throw for Prescott. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards. On 1st and 10, Prescott. And nearly picked off there, almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll pitch it out to Elliott. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
How about the defense not hanging their heads from the previous play where they were beat for a big run, came back on the very next down and made a play defensively that was to their credit.
Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this 3rd down play takes place. As the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Hey, go, get that. Let's go, get out, get out. Here we go, 46. 26.
Here's Prescott. And that is incomplete. Brent Grimes, the former Pro Bowler, there on the coverage.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And his kick here is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip.
Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
Mike Evans and the rest of the offensive unit heading back out there now. You better believe that he's well aware he has 0 catches right now, and they're losing, so he's probably a little hungry.
And you know the guys on defense are aware as well, and they're really excited he has no catches, but they're also worried because a lot of times that's like the ticking time bomb. The longer you hold him down, when he finally explodes, look out.
Yeah, no catches, though, so far in this game. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. Out come the Cowboys now as he'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Levante David, and they will take over at the 26-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field.
And this is going to be intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the second half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it. They're excited about where they are in this game.
Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
That's a football play right there. That takes me back a little bit. Toss sweep to the right. Get it to your back. Get a lot of people out in front. Control the line of scrimmage. Wide receivers blocking downfield. It almost feels like half the crowd is in front of him, getting it down to the secondary. They have a tough time getting him down.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
This is Elliott, and not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
Get out, get out.
Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. On the crossing route, he hits his man, Amari Cooper. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
Then we got to give a little tip of the cap for the defense there. Zone coverage, locked it in tight, made it really difficult because they tried the crossing route against it, and it worked for a completion. But you have to know where the sticks are on 3rd down. Didn't get beyond them. No pickup.
Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Ready. Blue ready.
On 2nd down, Winston again. He's got his tight end over the middle, O.J. Howard. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their 3rd corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does. How about the fellas with the stars on the side of their helmets rising up on defense? We always hear about the Cowboys' rushing offense. Their rush defense is pretty good as well, I think, because they're so cohesive. Defensive line, linebackers really work well together.
The Cowboys' offense heading back out and ready to go again. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard. On 2nd down, Elliott. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29. And 3rd quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. Back now in Arlington, as we're about ready to rock and roll for the 4th and final quarter. Out now comes the Cowboys punter. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm?
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Able to get there and pick it. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Now Prescott, they'll set up the screen to Elliott. And they'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
That was a beautifully executed screen pass. Let the rushers get upfield. The blocking forms in front. Lofted it to the runner. And now, not only does he have open space in front of him, he's got an escort as well, and they pick up big yardage.
They'll try to sweep with Elliott. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
A second down throw for Prescott. And this is caught at the end. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So give them the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
They'll try to run it in with Elliott. And this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
They get it to him running left. And fights through one man. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal.
I don't know about you, Brandon, but I often think to myself, in these situations, I want a back who can create his own space, who can break tackles, and in a sense, become his own blocker. We don't have that guy in the game right now.
And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. Only a yard that time, so now a decision to be made here on 4th and goal.
Now, this feels like old-school football because this has turned into a good old-fashioned goal line stand. So on offense, what do you do now? Do you decide to run it or throw it if you go for it on 4th down?
They'll run it with Elliott. And he'll wind up being knocked back to the 3-yard line. Ezekiel Elliott unable to punch it in. And the Bucs defense, they'll celebrate the goal line stand. And I am not sure, partner, there what the mindset was to go for it. I don't know.
And some teams just feel that possession is the key to everything. They just want to have the football in their hands. No matter how it goes to the other team, they just don't trust doing that. So they say, listen, go for it and try and finish it ourselves.
And a nice pickup as this one gets them to the 10-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
I think they're ahead of schedule now after that run. They might be bold with this 2nd down call after that type of a game.
2nd down, Winston. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. But he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Ready? Black 22.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he's got a man. It's the tight end Howard complete. He's at the 50, 30, 20, 10. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Now Winston. And he floats one there, incomplete. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. And that'll bring up 2nd down. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league.
And this is caught down for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
So they got their touchdown. Now down a field goal. Here comes the onside kick. And the Cowboys are able to recover. And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
And now the Bucs deciding to take a timeout defensively. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Right back to him on 1st down. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Now the Buccaneers go ahead and take another timeout as they stop it here with 1:07 remaining. They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And he'll be stopped up at the line of scrimmage with a flag down. Let's check on the call.
Holding, offense.
So on the big tight end, holding. Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
After the penalty, it's Elliott. And some strong running. And he'll go down at the 28. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. On 3rd down, Elliott. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the offense will get this one back. Boy, that could have been catastrophic at this late stage of the game, but they avoid disaster.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. The Cowboys on their way to victory as they take a knee.